Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Capricorn. If Capricorn is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, Capricorn. And I'm already having a bit of a runny nose here. So I'm going to apologize. I have a bit of a cold or something going on. So I might sound a little icky. Hopefully you all are staying well during these trying months of cold and flu season. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so we have a few nice formations here, and I'm just gonna kind of bring this up. I want to start with, we have an A, and that's kind of a really pretty A, capital A, and where this is placed in the material, daily, base reality kind of realm here. This is somebody that you know well, somebody that is, you know, part of your core group of people in your personal life. You might work with them. I get the feeling that this is maybe somebody who you are related to, or maybe a relationship. But something I also get about this person, although this could be about you, but because they're in such close proximity, I'm looking at this right here next to the A, and to me, it looks very much like an Egyptian glyph for Horus. I don't know if that's exactly what they look like because they're varied, but that's the first thought that I had, was it's a glyph of a bird, but it reminds me of Horus. And when I relate Horus, I mean, there's so much mythology about the god Horus because he is a chief deity and was so prominently worshipped. And so my relationship to him in this instance is that I wonder if this is not somebody who is kind of in the role of what they call like a golden child or a golden son. Oftentimes it's related more to the it could be, it doesn't matter if it's the eldest, middle, youngest, male child, or person identifying as a son, okay? In the end, a golden child is somebody who really can do no wrong. So there's kind of this dynamic, and, you know, I read about this online, some here and there. I don't know if this is an actual psychological concept, but it's something that's talked about a lot within family dynamics, in kind of help groups and places where people are writing about their experiences with their families. And so anyways, this is somebody in the family who just, you know, can't do wrong. Everything they do, even when it's, you know, hurtful to others or Maybe the parents give a lot more attention and resources to this child, even as an adult. You know, they're always talking about them, kind of almost like the other kids are, you know, just not even kind of worth mentioning. Or anyways, people get into a position where they feel like, you know, their siblings maybe are preferred more than they are within their family dynamic, okay? And so I feel like, oops, I feel like this is maybe somebody like that. Maybe this is, I mean, maybe you're that person and maybe you're aware of that, but maybe this a person is somebody in your life who kind of has that role within their family. Now, this could also be like your sibling that you're having issues with, and they have, you know, or maybe issues with your parents. But oftentimes people who kind of end up in this like position in a family, they're a little more entitled. They feel a little more entitled, right? And kind of, I'm not going to say they're narcissistic, but there are qualities of kind of narcissistic behaviors, right? And personality traits. Okay, so I think that that kind of is the energy with that person. And then I wanted to look at this one. And then we have this K. Okay, and this again is going to be somebody kind of in your life. The positioning is similar, but I kind of wonder if this is somebody that is a different person, but they kind of, I almost wonder if they're playing like a role in your work life, if they are somebody who is involved with your relationship, maybe some like your current partner's ex, or maybe somebody you have broken up with, because I look at this larger formation here, and it looks like a fox. Okay, and this is this is one of the big focuses of this reading, but it looks somewhat like a fox, and it looks like they are stringing up a bow. Okay, so they're getting ready to fire this bow and arrow. Okay, and I think that is kind of related to the fox, although I love fox. Don't get me wrong, they're beautiful. If I see a fox out in the yard somewhere, or you know, out driving around and catch a glimpse, I feel eternally blessed. But as far as symbolism goes, related to people who are not yourself, because usually I would, if you were the fox, I would say, you know, you have the qualities of quick thinking, you're resourceful, you're cunning, not in a negative predatory way necessarily. But when I see that it's somebody else and they're stringing up a weapon to use, it makes me think that this is somebody that you know well, and they're a bit sneaky. They're very preoccupied with whatever you have, or with you in general, and they're kind of really deep in some kind of ploy to get to you, to kind of cause some kind of problems for you, some drama, to damage your relationship that you have now, or you know, maybe harm your reputation. Okay, and I don't think that I don't read this as they're gonna hurt you physically, although, you know, if this strikes a chord with you, and you have been in a relationship or a situation where somebody has been violent with you, I'm not an expert, and I am not qualified to really give advice, but I will say, you know, please seek help. Let your people know, your family, if you have to, you know, file a report or, you know, anything like that. Please do that. Don't hesitate to do that if you feel like anything is going wrong or something might happen. Okay, just be vigilant. But as far as the purposes of this reading, that is entertainment, I think this is more along the lines of somebody gossiping, somebody maybe planting the seeds of mistrust in you or your partner, and really just kind of going out of their way to cause you some kind of strife, okay? Some kind of, you know, causing disharmony in that relationship that you maybe is just starting or that you have been in, but they are definitely, you know, in somebody's ear trying to cause some problems. And I wanted to look at this one. This is kind of a weird, interesting formation here. So I see a person standing right up here, and it looks like they're kind of standing on a hill, and they have this like hose, and it looks like there's water coming out. And to me, it looks like these are kind of like mountains or flames, okay, or mountains of flames. And so I feel like there's this energy of having to put out like all of these fires, okay? Like it's just been a mess of things. Okay, and you have been running around just trying to get things settled. You know, you put out one thing and all of a sudden there's another incident starting, another problem, another mishap. Okay, and I don't think this is a huge, you know, life-changing ordeals, but I think that it's just this feeling of anxiety, being kind of just so wound up, getting burnt out. Just chaos, hectic. You know, there's not a lot of harmony happening right now for you. Okay. And I really kind of feel like you have this desire to just kind of detach yourself from all of the things that you have going on. Maybe it's at work and home, taking care of people, taking care of yourself, financially, whatever it is. And I think that because there is some of this feeling of people kind of, you know, putting themselves into your life where they're not welcome, really kind of, you know, meddling, there's more anxiety. So it's making everything else seem more intense, like bigger problems than they maybe actually are, right? And I understand that. I freak out, you know, like in my mind, when it's just, you know, I have a toddler, so my house gets into the mode of chaos. I'm like cleaning up messes. Next thing I know, I'm hearing like things getting spilled out. I forgot to turn on the washing machine. Oh no, I didn't take out the meat for dinner. You know, it's just, it gets to be chaotic, and it starts to feel like everything is working against you. But, you know, in reality, we know these are all things that are manageable, but when they're compounded by somebody who is, you know, coming around with these like really bad vibes, and they're causing arguments or, you know, uncomfortable conversations with your core people, and they're questioning you or whatever, that can be difficult, you know. Even if they know it's a bunch of BS, your partner knows it's BS, but still, just that energy coming into your life is like, ugh, too much. You know, we don't want that. That's like, especially if it's like an ex or something, it's like, you're not in my life for a reason, right? And I feel that. I feel like it's like maybe a friend, an ex-friend, or an ex partner, lover, whatever, somebody who knows you well enough to know how to get under your skin a bit. Okay. And now I want to see, this one's kind of, okay, I want to pull this away first. I want to look at it from afar because I'm seeing two things that I want to talk about. And three. Okay, so this one to me looks so much like a peacock, kind of in this restful state. So the peacock in the restful state, and so I always think of the peacock as related to Juno, the goddess Juno, and where this is located in the mental, going up into the spiritual realm up here, it really makes me think that you are really striving for this, you have in your mind, and I think you've been working towards, you've been making a lot of progress towards a place of serenity, a place of just blossoming from your head to your toe. I think of that practice of the internal lotus, right? Finding that place of supreme light within yourself, the light that just glows from your core out. And when you close your eyes and you find it and you think of a beautiful lotus kind of unfurling from that beautiful light, and in that place you can't, there is no pain, there is no conflict. Everything is and is not at the same time, and it's beyond kind of a state of duality, just almost a supreme place of enlightenment, I suppose, whatever that means. But it's obtainable wherever we are, however you are, whenever you are, right? And it is the beautiful, untouchable, undimmable light that we all carry within us, okay? And I feel like you have really touched that light in a way that is very intentional. You have been awoken to that journey towards activating that light within your life. When you need time and refuge in that light, that's where you go. And I think that seeing this is just a beautiful reminder that while all these other things are going on in the mundane world, that it's easy for us to forget that all of this stuff flows together, right? We compartmentalize that interior work from the dramas of our little life, right? And it's easy because they seem so different. It seems sometimes like within these, the work gossip, the family conflicts, the yelling, the bad feelings, the jealousy, that there is no divinity in any of that. But that's not true, okay? And just because we have those things happening in our life does not mean that we have not done a lot of work on ourselves and within our spiritual life. These things happen. We're part of a collective world, okay? And so the real message, I think, is that the only thing that we can really fine tune is how we react to those situations, who we let around us, how we let people affect us. And I know it's difficult because I get twisted up myself. I'm not going to ever claim that I am not a person that doesn't get their feelings hurt. I do. I really do. And, or sometimes anger or resentment or just looking at things and being like, I don't even understand, how I come from the human race sometimes. Like, I just don't understand some of the things that people do to each other. And we all have those moments, right? But I think right here, I think it's just really with this peacock, it's saying practice some of those techniques. Think about the things that you have done that feel right, that you feel like you have grown in those places, and lean on those when things are getting difficult. When these, foxes in our lives, these cunning people try to shoot their arrows at us and harm our life, our connections with others, or, when we're at battle with our siblings or our family, we feel devalued or, looked over or not thought of. Try to remember, within yourself, remember what you have access to within yourself. Okay. And that's one of the hardest things that we work on in developing as human beings, as spiritual beings, is kind of losing some of the conditioning that we have, through socializing, and positioning in society and all these things, all of the really nuanced, connected things that we have with one another, trying to let go of some of that stuff. Okay, that's hard. We could spend our whole lives doing that, I think. I know I could. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to look at, this one. I feel like, okay, so we have this person right here, arms up. They're kind of in a squatted position. Now, in some cultures, this could be a birthing position or it's a death posture, okay? So either way, this is life and death. This is the beginning and the end. These are just devotional postures, okay? I'm not saying that this is like somebody's going to have a baby or somebody's going to die. That's not what I mean. But these are opening and ending postures. These are things that we do. These are stances or laying positions, like almost like yogic or tantric positions that we can utilize in ritual or in meditation or ceremony or, in copulation, to open ourselves, open a ritual, open a new era, a new concept, whatever it is, or to close a ritual, close a concept, let it go, let it die off, leave it behind, okay? Or, so on. Now, I see it kind of I see this next to this bridge, okay? So I see this as two things. I feel like this is the beginning. You are on this trip over this bridge. You are getting over, going over the water and leaving things behind. Okay, and this makes sense to the other things going on in this bowl. I think that you are at the beginning stages of whoever is really just, got their thorns in you or whatever. I can't think of exactly the right metaphor. But whoever has their hooks or has caused you some pain, right? Whoever is causing you that anxiety, that stress, the gossip, whatever it is, you're in the beginning stages of really letting go of some of that stuff, okay? And not allowing them access to you in a way that is going to bother you. I think that you are setting some beautiful boundaries, cutting off contact with people who, are furthering these, what's the word? Kind of conspiracies against you, or, they're ill plans to disrupt your life, right? And you are cutting off that channel for them to affect you and affect the people that you love. And I really see you crossing over this bridge, getting over those troubled waters, and not letting it affect you so much, okay? And I think that I want to show this card. We have the Queen of Cups, one of my favorite archetypes, okay? So we have this feminine energy that is dreamy, creative, you know, just full of life, inspiration. She's the watery part of the water element, okay? So water on water on water, right? And it's just can flow into anything, wash over anything, you know, change its different forms, and very just kind of the most, I guess, flexible and applicable to any situation kind of archetype. Very, very, I can't think of the word, but just basically very much involved in all aspects of self and very activated, okay? But on top of that, and this is where it really, really relates to this reading, I believe, is that this is the part of ourselves where we can be very affected by others. Okay, so think like, yeah, empath, great empathy, empathetic, but also, you know, just any kind of thing can really, you know, the wrong words, the wrong tone, sensitive, very sensitive, overthinking, okay? Really just, you know, one thing goes wrong in the day and it affects your whole mood for the rest of the day, or, you know, for a good chunk of it, how you relate to other people, how you interact with them, and so on. I am very partial to this card because I feel like that's so me. I feel like I'm definitely all of those things. I'm very, very affected by other people and just situations in general. And I've had to work very hard to try to temper that in my life because I have a family now. For a long time, I could just, you know, go with it, and it didn't really affect a lot of people. But now I live with my family, and so I have to be really mindful of how my mood shift and how I speak to other people, and, you know, how much I let things affect me, because I have a child that, you know, is very young, and sometimes she's like, and they're I'll admit, so I've shed a couple tears here and there, but she'll be like, no, I don't want you, Mama. I want Daddy, you know, or something like that. And I'm like, dude, I spend all day with you. You don't want me? But, you know, it's nothing personal. She's a kid. But I have to make sure that I don't get my feelings hurt, right? So I feel like you, and I don't think you're to that extreme. I'm not saying that, but I think in this scenario that we have going here, it's easy for you to sometimes take on the emotions of other people, and also just feel really bad about how people treat you, speak to you, or just how they're behaving in general. And you really internalize that. But I think you've really been working on this kind of closing that stuff down, not letting that destroy your day, your week, your month, you know. I think that you've really worked very hard to get that kind of under control. And I think that's going to make all the difference in these situations. Okay. And I just want to give this one a look over. I'm trying to make, they get so dry here. And I just wanted to mention this one because I see this, and this is up in the mental, up into here, and it looks like a bear to me, okay, kind of running up from the mental up into the, I mean, physical down here, up into the mental, and then into the spiritual zone. And I think that this is really that part of your spirit that is just kind of taking over and kind of taking up for yourself, right? And getting that kind of, not aggressive, but just very like mama bear protective. Like you're, the part of your being that's like, oh no, 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 this is not gonna go down like this, is really coming out and saying, okay, let's kind of pause and recalibrate how we're going to deal with this. Okay, this person's not going to come around and mess with my life or mess with the life of the people I care about. Okay, and if this is about, like I said, that golden child person, that's a person in your life, kind of the same feelings. Like, I'm tired of, you know, being dismissed because of this other person. I'm done with that. I'm realigning my life in a way that that's not going to happen anymore. And, you know, you're not going to be living at the whims of other people's behavior, actions, and, you know, just the attention and, I don't know, self-worth that they, you know, people. And the crazy thing with family is that, it can be so good and everything seems great on the surface, but it's just the little nuanced things that they do that really can make you feel like you're, you know, you're being left out, or you're not, you know, being considered as much as other people. And I see that a lot in, the readings I do with people. Some of the private readings I've done with others is that there's a lot of these questions about, you know, about like, how does my family really think of me? Or do they approve of what I'm doing? Or, you know, things like this. And it's just, you know, I feel bad for anybody who has to live their entire, you know, childhood, adolescence, adulthood, worrying about how people are accepting of them when they're the family members, right? So, I don't know. I guess I'm on this is my tangent for the video. If that's happened to you, my heart goes out to you, because that's such a crap place to be. You know, having to think about those things. And on the other side of it, hopefully, if that is the dynamic, if you have children now or going forward, maybe you'll treat them different and kind of break that cycle of favoritism, or, you know, not being accepting of them wholeheartedly, unconditionally, right? And because that really is some of that deep, deep pain that we end up carrying with us. And you know what? I don't think that, let me just finish up this tangent a little bit. I don't even think that a lot of parents even do it on purpose. I think it's just, you know, learned behavior. And I'm not saying that that's okay, but I think that sometimes it's just so subtle and kind of gets ingrained into people that, well, this is how we treat children, and this is, you know, whatever. And it sucks, you know. Hopefully those cycles can be broken, you know, and just that attention, love, equality can happen first in the home, so that it can, you know, really sink into to all of us, right? And then we carry it out into the world with us. Really, we learn how to do those things based on our relationships with, you know, our parents, our family members, our tribe, right? Okay, so that's my little rant there, or tangent, or both. Okay, so let's see. I see this beautiful. It's a square. It's there's a little water on this edge here. So I feel like there's a little bit of room for finding some, like, fortifying your boundaries, really cementing your stance and what you're willing to put up with, expressing in a calm, collected clear way how you are feeling with the people who are affecting you, letting them know, I'm not going to deal with this anymore. And, you know, like I said, cutting off contact if you have to. I feel like there's a little bit of that, you know, just not being super firm. So I think you got to think about tightening that up. It's like, and because I'm raising a kid again, I get these like concepts from the things that I'm reading of like soft boundaries, hard boundaries. Okay, so soft boundaries, when you give in here and there about important things, people are going to think that they can run over you, or they can at least finesse you into going along with what they want. So sometimes you really do have to set those super hard boundaries. Now, we're not all perfect, and sometimes, you know, we don't stick to exactly what the ideal we have in our head, and that's okay. Things need to you know, shift and change with the situation. Okay. But I think that if you are coming to these conclusions that you need to have these boundaries with your people, with your family, with your, you know, associates, your romantic partners, whatever it is, you have to stick to them. Okay. Because much like children, they will take advantage where they can. But I see that it's getting super squared away. And I'm really of the mind that you are getting back to this serenity that you want so much. And I think that you are not an idealist, or, you know, you don't have this misconception of things where you think, if I just wait long enough, like the peace will come to me, the harmony, everything will fall into place. Okay. I think in this situation, this is about being proactive. Okay. And for you to obtain the state of being that you want to be in and you want your life to be in, you know, to a reasonable degree, you're going to have to be very proactive about making these little, you know, changes in your life. Okay. All right, Capricorn. This has been a good one, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you for spending your time with me. I'm always so honored to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please think about doing that. And if you hit that little bell, it will bring you notifications of the new videos coming out. Then you can watch your other placements. So like if Capricorn is your solar, you could go watch your lunar, ascendant / rising, or Venus. A lot of people watch their Venus placements as well. And if you would leave a comment, I love hearing from you, each and every one of you. It is really just so nice to kind of go and look at my video stats and stuff, and there's like comments on there, and I get to reply to you all and, you know, just share in that communal energy, and I appreciate it so much. Okay. And also thank you for, you know, getting through this reading with me. I am not feeling that good today. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be waking up and feeling at least 80%. Okay. Thank you. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is where you are and watching this. Thanks.